Howdy guys! Welcome to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Johnny.
Michael.
And we make up Anime Casuals. Or we usually do, but now we have a special guest. Welcome, Josh.
Hi guys, I'm Josh. I'm super casual.
Super casual, so casual he hasn't finished the last 2 episodes of this anime. So, we're going to spoil the shit out of it for him. And we'll spoil the shit out of it for you too. So remember, this is a spoiler warning for the whole anime. It's only 12 episodes, so get on it. But anyway, so this is all for Zombieland Saga. And so when we usually do these like anime casuals, we do them real casual. So we just do real casual discussions, which is pretty much what we're going to do now. So I guess we should just start off with a real simple question, like who's your favorite character out of all the girls, not including Shades or any of the side characters or anything. I'll go ahead and start by asking Josh.
Hey, that's a real casual start.
I know, right? I was like, whoo.
Honestly, oh gosh, I think I like the one who just stays a zombie. It's Ty.
Yeah.
Ty.
The legendary.
It's a legendary Ty. What makes you legendary? I don't know. But like even from the first episode when she just grabbed the microphone and just started screaming, I was like, yeah. Just her affliction with the
She got everything
squid.
going.
I know, that cockadoodle too, bro. Fucking
Yeah.
gets everything. Cockadoodle! That's her!
Yeah. Oh, she's really funny. I really like that character.
Oh, and she still feels throughout the whole anime, which
Yeah.
is the nicest part. Is like you can see her connecting with the.
There were some parts of me that was hoping, like, at the end, towards the end of the anime, she'd snap out of it and be like, I'm actually really legendary. Like,
Hey, are you guys ready for the first spoiler? She doesn't do that.
Okay.
Oh man. So what about you, Johnny?
Ooh, my voice.
I think my favorite character is probably we just said her name like 5 minutes ago. Saki.
Yeah,
the
Micro
game
chick?
chick.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's super spunky. I dig her. So,
Nice.
and her episode is really awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, she had
That's
she had my favorite song out of all of them. Like that fucking hardcore song where they're just like standing in front of the mics, like with the biker shirts on. Like, damn, all right,
Yeah.
damn.
Definitely a good one.
Moving the whole crowd there.
I know, right?
Hey, don't go off this ramp and kill yourself. Sing and dance.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I'm aiming for something higher than this.
Yeah.
Man, what do you think about it, Michael?
Ooh, deflecting over to me. Okay.
I know,
Okay. Give yourself a few extra seconds to think, and I'll think while I'm exfoliating right now.
There you go.
You see how I just made up that word?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really like the main character,
Sakura?
Sakura. But I think the one that really, caught me the feels was Little Lily-chan.
Oh yeah.
Like, hers is one of my favorite songs because I always like it.
Fuck that episode, bro.
No,
I was like, damn.
I really like it when music actually conveys meaning. And,
Yeah, I know,
like,
right?
through its where its words actually mean something.
Yeah.
And like they had that like out of favorite episodes that rap song was like pretty good, but
really good.
like
Yeah.
and that was another one where I was like, oh, they're saying things that mean that are real, like what they're saying is real, and I think that's a side note problem with a lot of pop songs in today's genres is like they create things that don't mean anything, and the music doesn't relate to the actual person.
Yeah.
And that's why that Lily's whole thing there really kind of felt like came after me, and plus her little heart that comes out. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
She's like, I'm so nervous, my heart's
yeah,
broken."
I'm like, dude, every time that happens, it makes me laugh really hard, and like, she's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, and it worked out too because her death is kind of like ridiculous too. So you're kind of just like, at least it wasn't like something like brutal or anything like that. Like Yugiri, like you gotta imagine what the fuck she went through because she has like a slit throat all the time. And you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened? And she lived through like the samurais and shit. You're like, oh fuck
Is
this,
that that
bro.
Corazon?
Yeah, the Corazon.
She would be my favorite, but I just don't know enough about her.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem. Is like
Yeah.
I have some of my favorites because we know a lot about them, how they died.
Yeah.
Like
She's like next season if they.
yeah, definitely next season.
Probably, but speaking of which, that's my favorite character, Yugiri, and just because I really like how she's become like the mother role model, but she's also like
The second.
it's the funniest thing is when she slaps somebody right before they're about to say something that she's telling them. Like fucking Sakura's like, I'm gonna go back inside and Sakura, you need to go back inside. It's like, what? I was about to say that, or like, when Shades is like trying to tell him like, I'm not gonna give up on Sakura. Shh, you shouldn't give up on Sakura. Like right before he finished the sentence, like I was gonna say that. She smacks him hella prematurely and shit. But yeah, I always like how she's just got this very commanding presence. Plus, she's also like multi-talented. Like when they do that rap episode, she starts like playing that fucking guitar thing or whatever the fuck it is, and I was like, oh damn, like they fucking she can pretty much like blend to anything. Like she goes to cheer up Sakura with like a geisha thing. Yeah. She's got geisha training, all this kind of fucking training. So yeah, I think that's why she's my favorite character because she's like, yeah.
Smokes all the time.
Alright, she's dead now. Who gives a fuck?
Lung cancer.
I know.
I'm dead already.
But so I guess the next thing would be what was your? We kind of went through it when we went through our characters, but what was your favorite song so far? And I guess you kind of went through it with the Lily one, but I don't know if that's exactly it.
No, I'll start with mine. Mine was the rap episode, actually. The biggest part is like, you know, like any TV show or movie where, you know, they start with a sound.
Yeah.
And then that leads to another sound. Like that Scraps episode. And then, like, it just keeps going on, and then more sounds added, and then, like, people are singing for no reason, and it just creates a whole, like, kind of wrapped, like a very layered song of all these crazy sounds. That's what that reminded me of. I was like, okay, they're speaking, and then it turns into rap, and then you know, she starts playing the music, and then Lily just jumps in and just starts yelling.
Yeah, I know, right?
And like, she's like, I'll just jump in too. Yeah. And I'm like, you're just yelling, but it totally adds to it, and it sounds so nice. Yeah. And that rap part, that was like,
I know,
boom! Right? Or like Sakura just takes it away and just starts yelling at her basically through rap the whole time, which...
I think that was the episode that hooked me in, too.
But the way they were rapping was Japanese rap, right? Like Naruto style?
Yeah.
Even like Killer Bee.
Like Killer Bee rap, where they just speak kind of rhythmically.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
It worked.
Nailing
Really
it.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Lily's song was good, and like there's a few other songs that are actual songs, and not, you know, just like beats set to words, which is a song, but you know, I come from background music, and it's hard for me to call that just a song. But like that one really took it away from me because it was just set up so well.
Yeah.
So rap episode, super good.
Yeah, I think for mine, I was gonna try and look up the songs, but I was just like, I think there's only like there's a good amount of them but they do a couple of them twice and everything. Probably one of my favorites was God, dude, that Lily one really fucking got me when I was watching it. It pisses me off because it really, like, when she starts saying, like, I'm gonna be in movies, and you know what that means to her father and everything, and the father's like reacting, and I've always enjoyed that kind of like interaction between like a really big father character and like a real small daughter, because like they have this kind of dynamic where it's like, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, and people think that he's like super aggressive on the outside, like everybody's fucking afraid of him, and then like you see him and he's like a real sweet dad, and I was like he didn't even kick open the door until like he knew his daughter was like in trouble or anything. Like if that fool wanted to, he could have like flicked it open. You know, fucking 5XL. 5XL shirt, what the hell is that?
Him watching a TV show at the end of the episode. Was so
I'd probably say just be it based off of everything that was around that episode. Probably that was my favorite one, probably just because it touched me like the most out of all the songs. But what do you guys think? Either one of you?
I think for song, it's definitely the rap one.
Yeah,
that one definitely stuck out a lot. And it's totally because of what's her name, the courtesan chick.
Yeah, dude.
Like her whole thing. Like I wasn't so much into the rap to be honest, but her doing that, I was like, that sounds so cool. And it worked all together.
A fat
really well.
beat.
Like without her, it's nothing. They're just
that's
talking.
true.
I want to say something real quick. I like, you know, how you didn't look up the song, and we don't know what that instrument's called because we're real casual.
We're too casual.
We're very
casual.
We don't look up the names for things.
Ultra casual.
And ultra casual.
Casual code.
For me,
special guest.
Two songs really jump out at me. The first one being the first episode where it's literally just them screaming. Like, that got me into the anime. Like that was like
that was the hook point for you, huh?
From the point where Sakura got hit by the car.
Yeah.
Like that instant was like, wait, what the hell is this anime about? Okay, and then the song was literally just them headbanging with broken necks. Everybody into it. That was really good. But then I also liked when what's her name? The one who got thunderbolted.
Yeah.
She was trying to get over that performance when they all went like glowing.
Yeah.
That was really
that
cool.
That song was I really liked that.
Yeah,
song.
dude, they went pretty fucking hard on that one.
But of course, the rap one was probably.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it was so set up. It was set up so well. It was
yeah,
crazy.
it's true.
And just personally, I really liked Tatsumi, right? It's Tatsumi.
Yeah, the glasses guy.
Yeah, he was just like, beat, come on. And just beatboxing. Use it. Come on.
Yeah, I know, right?
So funny.
Oh man, you always need one of those characters is always necessary that just speaks English out of nowhere. I'm watching this anime right now where they just say like different shit in different languages and it's fucking hilarious. But I think we got about like 5 more minutes at least in this clip. So for the next like 5 or so minutes, let's talk a little bit about what like major properties of this anime like kept you going into it, and maybe some things that made you fall off, because we kind of finished it at different times.
Finished it.
Yeah, we all see, as you can tell, somebody fell off of it, but maybe for different reasons.
He's real casual.
Because I fell off of it just a little bit. I think it was towards the right after that concert where they did the Thunderbolts and everything. I was like, oh man, this is really awesome, and it started getting a little slow somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But you know, like when they go up to the mountains and do that kind of stuff, which there was like comic relief and all that kind of stuff. But I really like was too spoiled. I really wanted a fucking song after each fucking video, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, I need a song after these episodes.
No development.
I know, but yeah, one of the things that like kept me in was just each, because you get to go through each one of these idols. Stories like really deeply, so it's just kind of each one of them has their own arc.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're settled in like an episode, or you know, or you kind of figure out why they act a certain way. So that was kind of what kept me going into it. So, what do you guys think?
You know what? I would definitely have to agree. I definitely dropped off around episode 10, which is that mountain episode. And just because, weirdly enough, like. Because sometimes I look away from the scene or look away from the TV, and then I look back maybe like a couple seconds later, and that one was definitely the hardest to be like, wait, what? Why is there snow? Like what? Why is it? What's going on? Why did Tatsumi send them out to the mountains? What is this? But once you get past just that episode, it was like, okay, pick it up again, because they give you more development. So that was definitely a part where, like, sometimes, because the show is naturally kind of silly, while with those serious, you know, layers on top. Yeah, emotions, you know, like, all their crazy backstories, is sometimes the silliness just takes over a little bit, and is like, you kind of lose track of what's going on in the episode.
See, for me, that's what really kept me going. I love all just the small talk humor and just like they talk crap to each other. It's like when he came in and hit one of them with the baseball. I loved it. That is what kept me through this series. The songs were really good, and the interaction between the girls and Tatsumi was like. The humor between it. That's what really kept me going. Yeah. Zombie!
They're him yelling every episode basically.
I know. Whenever they try and go to him for help, he's like, back on zombie! They slam the fucking door on him.
He's part of why I'm trying to stay with that one.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who he is, and it's a mystery to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of got you guys to drop off a little bit? Because I remember you took a little bit of a break too with Michael as well.
Well, I mean that was the biggest thing. I mean, because I watched it with Michael, you know, I was more on his viewing schedule, so he had a lull, I had a lull.
Oh, gotcha.
I have other things in the wings, you know, waiting, other anime going on.
Yeah.
So
for me, I'm just a super anime casual. I legit will just have this list of animes where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna watch this one today, and then. Zombieland went to the bottom, and then it's back up there. I'm gonna watch it.
I remember when we watched. You introduced us to Bunny Girl Senpai, and I finished it all in a fucking afternoon while you guys were over at Golfland. I was like, you guys came back, and I was like, I finished it. It was so good. I couldn't. I was supposed to leave like an hour after, like, once they got back.
And he still hasn't finished it. We're still on like episode 3.
Episode like 4 or something.
I mean, you can't be on the show unless you're casual about anime.
Yeah, we're very casual. We keep it very
This is
casual.
an anime professional over here.
This is casual anime, not weeb central.
Yeah,
exactly. We don't want to cross that domain. Well, speaking of casual, here's a casual transition to part 2. Keep tuned in for the next part, and we'll talk a little bit more about action anime versus these kind of animes where they're a little bit more gag central. But yeah, keep watching and keep it casual.